Tonight on Coyote Sports, the football team defeats a nationally ranked FCS team, and the volleyball team wins 2 of their 3 matches in Nebraska. I'm Charlie Daldorf.
And I'm Jackie Hendry. A Coyote soccer player leads the conference in goals scored so far this season, and sports commentator Grant Boziacki gives his thoughts on how the football team held on for the victory last week. First, the headlines. Delaney?
NASCAR driver Tony Stewart won't face any criminal charges for the death of Kevin Ward Jr. Back in August, Ward left his car during a sprint car race and was hit by Stewart. A toxicology report shows that Ward was under the influence of marijuana at the time of his death. The Minnesota Vikings will have a new quarterback next Sunday. Matt Castle was placed on the injured reserve list this morning after breaking several bones in his foot against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. Teddy Bridgewater will make his first official start this Sunday as the team takes on the Atlanta Falcons. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw will take the mound tonight as the Dodgers host division rival San Francisco Giants. Kershaw, in the midst of a historic season, will be looking for his league-leading 21st win. Kershaw leads the league with a 1.8 earned run average. A win for the Giants and loss by the Brewers tonight would clinch the National League wildcard for the Giants. And those are your headlines.
Last season, she was collecting trophies, and now she's breaking records. Coyote News' Sydney Mook talked with volleyball player Kendall Crittenbrink about her 2014 season.
Last season, Kendall Crittenbrink was Summit League Player of the Year and received an honorable mention on the D1 All-American team. This season, the outside hitter's already broken the record for all-time kills. However, Crittenbrink says she's more concerned about winning than breaking records.
Honestly, it's just really exciting. It's a big honor, but I don't really focus on it too much. I just try and continue to play every day and just do what I need to do to help the team.
Crittenbrink spent the summer playing with the U.S. Collegiate National Team. She says that the experience helped her prepare for senior year.
The honor to be a part there, to be a part of that team, just showed me a lot of my strengths and weaknesses and what I needed to carry over into this season as a senior.
Head coach Leanne Williamson has watched Crittenbrink grow since freshman year, and she says that her determination to win is what makes her a special player.
She came in as a competitor and she's going to leave here as a competitor, and that's really what makes her special. Is she wants to win day in and day out, whether it's practice or whether it's a game.
Following her senior year, Crittenbrink plans on playing overseas and eventually teaching. For Coyote News, I'm Sydney Mook.
USD defeated Creighton and Colorado last week at the Creighton Classic. Crittenbrink and libero Riley Haug were named to the All-State Tournament team. Haug was also named Summit League Defensive Player of the Week. The team will kick off their conference schedule this weekend as they host North Dakota State and Oral Roberts.
USD golfer Jordan Rykall led the Coyotes with a first-place finish, and Sam Matthew took second at the Jackrabbit Fall Invite yesterday. Rykall shot .212 over the 3 days to beat Matthew by a stroke. They led the men's team to a first-place finish overall. Brenna Lervick led the women with a 12th-place finish. Abby Dufresne finished in 14th. As a team, USD finished 4th place. Both the men's and women's teams will host the South Dakota Coyote Classic Monday and Tuesday. They'll be competing at the Dakota Dunes Country Club. The USD women's soccer team notched their 6th win of the season and 4th shutout last Sunday after defeating Northern Iowa 2-0. The Coyotes had goals by Colleen Reeves and Taylor Navala, who scored her 8th goal of the season. Navala currently leads the Summit League in goals scored this season. The team is now 6-4 on the year and plays at Drake tonight in less than 15 minutes.
For the first time in the Joe Glenn era, the Coyotes football team beat a ranked opponent at home last Saturday by beating the 22nd ranked Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. The Oats got off to a hot start with this diving pick by Steve Tlefson and scored 6 plays later to make it 7-0. It didn't stop there. Sean Breedle showed his athleticism with an interception on the very next drive. Ryan Sager punched it in from 1 yard out for his 2nd rushing TD of the day. The Oats went to halftime with a 20-0 lead, but the Lumberjacks would storm back to make it a 6-point game and were led by wide receiver Ifya Modu, who had 152 yards and this circus catch. But the Coyotes put it out of reach with a 9-yard touchdown catch by Eric Schuffer Jr. in the 4th quarter. They would win 28-21. The Oats are now 500 on the season and 2-2. They have their bye week this week before conference play kicks off when they face Southern Illinois next week. In this week's sports commentary, Grant Boziacki talks about the Coyotes' big win on the football field last week.
First off, congratulations to defensive end Drew Iddings for winning the Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Week, and offensive lineman Niall Banks for winning the conference's Newcomer of the Week. Now let's talk about the entire football team, and wow, what a momentum-building win that was for the Coyotes heading into this week's bye. Not only are the Coyotes getting some much-needed rest during this bye week, but after speaking to some players, they're definitely more confident right now than they've ever been. And what was most impressive about USD's victory was the fashion in which they did it. They jumped out right out of the gates to a quick lead that ran all the way up to 20-0 at halftime, and then withstood a vicious comeback by the ranked Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, and then sealed it with a vintage "my offensive line is better than your defensive line" punch you right in the mouth final drive consisting of 7 straight runs, which eventually ran the clock out. Now, what I liked most was the team showed some real character. It's no secret that this team couldn't hold a lead last year if it meant hitting the jackpot in the lottery. But the majority of these guys were the guys in the field the past few years that took the bruises and finally said, enough is enough. Now, one win like this isn't going to mean much if it doesn't carry over and result in more W's, but it was awfully encouraging, and it was exactly what was needed heading into this 8-round heavyweight boxing matchup known as the Missouri Football Conference. For Coyote Sports, I'm Grant Boziacki.